So see that Dongfang Bubai is blending techniques from orthodox sects and the sun and moon cult, generating a blue light that is mixing with the orange fire. This power is affecting the yang kai. Dongfang Bubai soon realizes that this is a sign of deviation in kai. The yin kai that existed in the center until a moment ago has disappeared due to the enormous amount of yang kai. Dongfang Bubai states that yin-yang must be in harmony, and he cannot use the Wuding sect cultivation method alone. Therefore, he decides to use the triple yin kai art as an absorption technique to bring yang and yin kai into harmony. He concentrates and puts this technique into practice, focusing all his power on his kai center. A yin-yang harmonization begins to take effect. But Dongfang Bubai notices a problem. The yang kai has not decreased completely yet, meaning that doing this only once will not be sufficient. In this case, all he needs to do is continue regulating his kai until it stabilizes. Dongfang Bubai decides to circulate kai through his center and meridians once again, repeating the process several times until he finally succeeds. Dongfang Bubai observes that his kai only stabilizes after circulating it 5 times. He mentions that he never thought he would survive thanks to the Kogtong sect, despite quickly absorbing yin kai to balance the abundant yang kai. He wonders how things ended up that way. In his past life, after reaching the unrestricted realm, he could use yin-yang kai as he pleased, and something like this never happened to him. He questions if it's a rare phenomenon of that body, deciding that there is no longer a need to use his kai. Supported by the yin kai located in the corner of his kai center, he rapidly elevates thanks to the Taiji technique. Dongfang Bubai explains that one side means softness while the other means rigidity. Purple light emanates from his body, and he claims that it started with the essence Hua fist but has transformed into an entirely new martial art. Dongfang Bubai states that this martial art has power and efficiency that even sect leaders cannot easily recreate. We then witness the destructive power of Dongfang Bubai, and he asserts that nothing is impossible. He notes that his kai center has expanded tremendously, possibly doubling or quintupling in size, automatically replenishing yin kai with yang kai. He speculates that there might be a hidden secret in this body that even the old man doesn't know about. Returning to daily training, Linghu Jiang defeats another student. Wai Jaesong stops the fight, declaring Linghu the winner, surprising both the master and him. Wai Jaesong instructs everyone to line up, and the master analyzes this situation, noting that despite defeating all his older brothers, Linghu Jiang doesn't seem exhausted. He mentions that Linghu has been away for only 100 days, a short time in which his skills and internal kai quantity have evolved exponentially. But the only thing that worries him is that Linghu's kai is not pure. It could be a side effect of his rapid growth. The master senses a different energy emanating from Linghu Jiang, reminiscent of the Mount Hua sect, though not as bizarre as those perverse orthodox sects. Exposing him won't be easy. It's strange for a child who has never been elsewhere to have such different energy, completely unlike his energetic and daring father. The master recalls Linghu Jiang's father calling for a drink. Regardless, the master acknowledges that their sect desperately needs someone talented like Linghu, and the restored Mount Hua sect must become stronger to welcome these children. Someday, they will be able to return Mount Hua to where it never should have left. In the next frame, the master explains how using martial arts from other sects could have hidden consequences for the recovery of the Mount Hua sect, shaking its re-establishment. There's a flashback of the master swearing not to discard the secret manual and vowing not to read it. He remembers when he and Wai Jaesong moved away to avoid attacks from countless Shaanxi sects and settled near the capital, enduring people's radicalization, calling them government puppies. All of this was done for the restoration of Mount Hua's lost glory. Suddenly, the master's thoughts are interrupted by Wai Jaesong, who tells Linghu Jiang not to get complacent and to continue progressing. Linghu Jiang assures his master that he won't disappoint. Wai Jaesong announces the end of the day's fights and releases them for the day, hoping they enjoy their free time. One student reminds them not to forget their meeting today, as they finally have a day off. The master tells Wai Jaesong that today is a day of rest, and since it happens once a month, he suggests Wai Jaesong join the disciples. However, Wai Jaesong declines, stating he can't set an example for his subordinates if he celebrates with them. Additionally, Linghu Jiang is around, giving him another reason not to go. The master inquires about Linghu Jiang joining his friends, and Wai Jaesong notes that he seems focused on training in these last few days. The master is pleased with Linghu Jiang's dedication and suggests Wai Jaesong reward him in some way. Wai Jaesong considers treating him to a meal or something similar, and the master agrees that it's a good idea. The master says he has some matters to attend to outside and will buy a gift for Linghu on his way back. Wai Jaesong understands and asks when he will return. The master replies that it will probably be tomorrow and instructs him to take care of the sect in his absence. Wai Jaesong assures the master that he can count on him. Later, in the disciples' quarters, Jaesong decides to do some tasks. Thinking that Linghu Jiang is likely focused on cultivating his technique, Jaesong, as the older brother, decides to bring him a meal to rejuvenate his body. When Jaesong opens the door and calls for Linghu, he finds no one there. He wonders if Linghu is training somewhere else that day. Jaesong searches the entire monastery for Linghu Jiang, wondering where he could be. Suddenly, he sees an elder who is the sect's janitor. Jaesong asks him if he has seen Linghu Jiang anywhere. The elder asks if he's referring to the son of the great warrior, and mentions that he said he was going to the Putero with the other disciples. Jaesong then asks if the brothers really went to a Putero. The janitor asserts that he definitely heard young Linghu Jiang and the other disciples talking about it. Despite being old, the janitor claims that his hearing is as good as that of a white hunting dog. Jaesong wonders if the kid really went to a Putero, considering it's not impossible and that Linghu Jiang is 15 years old, naturally interested in playing with children his age. He recalls Chegya making a mess due to a momentary lapse and acknowledges there's no guarantee Linghu Jiang isn't headed down the same path. However, it hasn't been long since he left his mark. Jaesong remarks that Linghu Jiang doesn't seem like the kind of kid who would easily indulge in laziness. Still, considering he is a child, for some reason, Jaesong has a good feeling about it and hopes he's not wrong. We then see Linghu Jiang going with the disciples, and they mention that there's no turning back. The Dawn Pavilion is known for its white sorghum. Linghu Jiang asks his brothers if this is some kind of third-rate sect, expressing disapproval that they don't have enough time to train a sect claiming to have inherited the legacy of one of the most prominent Taoist schools on Mount Hua. He remarks that the headquarters of the Union of the Nine Great Sects is located in the depths of mountains or rugged terrain. One of the brothers interrupts his thoughts, calling him to hurry. Linghu Jiang says he will. The brother mocks him, acting superior and asking if the outfit he's wearing is the only one he has. Linghu Jiang questions why that matters, and the brother says he should have said so because he has another blue cloak and asks if he wants it, expressing superiority. Linghu Jiang says he's not crazy and prefers to go the way he is than like his older brother. The older brother expresses disgust and asks Linghu Jiang if he doesn't know that's the current trend at the brothel. Another brother appears and says that since ancient times, what completes the style is the face, and even without the cloak, Linghu Jiang looks much better than him. The two start fighting, and Linghu Jiang watches the scene. In his thoughts, Linghu Jiang says it will be quite tiring to call these individuals older brothers. A third brother comments that he is indeed handsome, and despite the lack of jewelry and messy hair, Linghu Jiang has an elegant demeanor. They all proceed on their way to the brothel. One of the brothers says they are going to celebrate Linghu Jiang's birthday that day, and they should make the most of it. Linghu Jiang suggests they ignore it, but the brother insists, mentioning it has been 6 months since their last visit to the city. Linghu Jiang wonders if it was before, and the third brother reveals that he pretended not to remember but was rejected by Miss Huyen. Linghu Jiang asks who Huyen is, and Dongfang Bubai catches a glimpse of Linghu Jiang's memories and remembers that Huyen is a courtesy from the Pearl Porbor Pavilion. Dongfang Bubai sees in Linghu Jiang's memories that he even sent a love letter. Dongfang Bubai says it's definitely something the kid did and not him. Dongfang Bubai mentions the problem linked to his reputation as the ruler of the Miram and emphasizes the need to make clear the difference between them. Linghu Jiang claims his brother must be mistaken and that he only picked up something Miss Huyen dropped. The brother suggests confirming it at the pavilion. Linghu Jiang asks if there isn't a better place, and the brother teases him, asking if it's because of Miss Huyen. Linghu Jiang denies it, but another brother tells him to stop whining and follow them. Arriving at the pavilion, they quicken their pace to get there soon. Dongfang Bubai comments that he can't believe Huzhou, once a small fishing village surrounded by a huge lake, has become so prosperous, turning into the new capital. Arriving, one of the brothers says he'll drink all night. Another brother remarks that the entertainment district looks completely different at night compared to during the day, but there are many deceptions. Some vendors ask if they want to see the beauties they have in the brothels. They decline, stating they already have plans for the day. Suddenly, a woman approaches one of them and suggests they visit their pavilion if they have nowhere else to go. The brother refuses, saying they have work and will save it for later. Dongfang Bubai comments that these fools want to act like lords and only want to appear dignified in such situation. He thinks they should have the same attitude in their training. Finally, they reach their destination, and Dongfang Bubai is startled by the Pearl Porbor Pavilion. Dongfang Bubai asks the second brother why a high-end brothel looks so ordinary. The brother replies that Linghu Jiang hasn't seen anything yet and will understand once they are inside. When the door is finally opened, the second brother says they should appear serene like a prestigious clan on the outside but act like angels inside. They are greeted by a muscular man named Guango, who welcomes them to the pavilion and offers to be their guide. The guide asks the disciples if there is any particular courtesy they would like to experience. The second brother mentions they want to see Miss Huyen and hear her play the instrument. The guide apologizes, mentioning that Miss Huyen is already serving another client. He suggests they could see Miss Renmei, who recently joined and is 2 years younger than Miss Huyen but is better at playing the instrument. In his thoughts, the guide feels that the second brother is giving him a stern look and senses he might get beaten if he doesn't accept another woman. The three brothers express that this is a problem because they came specifically to see Miss Huyen. The guide dismissively laughs, saying there's nothing a mere subordinate like him can do. The second brother gets angry and asks if the guide knows who his father is. He mentions giving a truckload of money to the pavilion, dining with the owner, and his father owning a company in Guangzhou. The guide becomes nervous, and the second brother declares that he's done with him. The guide tries to say something about the second brother's father, but he interrupts, asking if he's heard of Elder Yun from the Yun Trading Company. The guide apologizes, admitting he didn't know he was Lord Yun, and immediately promises to bring Miss Huyen. He suggests they go to the second floor. Arriving on the second floor, the guide apologizes to the young master for his mistake and offers another bottle of white liquor. He hopes they enjoy their stay at the pavilion. The second brother says everything is fine now and advises the guide to be more careful in the future. He then asks when Miss Huyen will arrive. Miss Huyen appears and apologizes for being late, expressing her apologies. All the brothers compliment her, saying she looks more beautiful than ever. Linghu Jiang asks if she is indeed Miss Huyen and comments that she truly deserves to be called an unmatched beauty. He notes her elegance, delicacy, and fascination, suggesting that she's someone the young brat would definitely be infatuated with. Dongfang Bubai comments that there's no chance she could capture Dongfang Bubai's heart. Miss Huyen expresses her honor at being chosen and asks what they would like to hear that day. The second brother, noting it has been a long time since they last saw her, requests her to play Immaculate. She agrees and plays an impressive melody that surprises and impresses everyone. Dongfang Bubai observes the beautiful performance. All the brothers find it amazing, and Miss Huyen thanks them for thinking highly of her modest skills. She explains that Immaculate was originally an accompaniment to an ancient poem, but the aggressive lyrics were forgotten, reducing it to nothing more than a performance for entertainment while people drank. The second brother asks if she could play the 9 songs of the Journey to Paradise. Miss Huyen agrees, saying it's also a popular piece. Linghu Jiang bangs a glass on the table, expressing a desire for her to play another song. The second brother scolds him for his rude interruption. Miss Huyen reassures Linghu Jiang, asking about the love letter he supposedly gave her. Linghu Jiang claims it wasn't exactly a love letter. The second brother teases him, asking why it would start with my beloved Miss Huyen if it wasn't a love letter, finding it cute. Linghu Jiang blushes and denies writing that part. Miss Huyen asks him which song he wants, even if it's just a simple romantic one. He requests Night on Mount Guangling. Miss Huyen is surprised by his choice, saying that the song is not suitable for entertainment and fears it would ruin the master's ambience. Linghu Jiang mentions that it's a challenging piece, so if she's not confident, she shouldn't play it. They lock eyes, and she asks the young master for permission to play it. As she prepares to play, someone arrives shouting, asking who stole Miss Huyen from him and demanding to know what they did. The first brother says it startled him, and the second brother tells the intruder he can't barge into the rooms like that. The intruder comments on their appearance, suggesting they might be the children of some wealthy merchant. He grabs a vase, preparing to throw it at one of the brothers. The second brother asks him to calm down, realizing he must be the previous customer of Miss Huyen. It seems they made a mistake, and everything could be settled if he joined them. He smiles slightly, thinking that if they are paid by YJ Song, he will kill them, so they should pacify the intruder and everything will be on him. The man starts laughing, and the second brother says that everything should be settled. Suddenly, he is hit by a vase, and he questions what the intruder is doing. The intruder proceeds to strike him multiple times, causing a lot of pain. The first brother, despite their earlier mistake, apologizes, asking what the intruder is doing. The intruder asks if they really think they would be fine after offending a son of the Imperial Counselor. Everyone is surprised to learn he is the son of the Imperial Counselor, receiving the Emperor's favor, the high-ranking official, Hu Weiyang. The first brother expresses curiosity about his honorable name, and the intruder reveals he is Hu Buhai, the third son. The first brother mentions that despite being attacked, the non-aggression pact between the Murim and the government won't protect them, considering they are just a third-rate sect. He adds that there's nothing they can do, given the condition of his companion. Hu, the intruder, starts laughing, calling them pathetic and saying they all froze upon hearing their names. He instructs Miss Huyuan to leave these insects and go to his room. She looks at him sadly, and he claims she belongs to him, pulling her to go with him. Linghu Jiang states he won't allow him to do that, but the third brother tells Linghu Jiang to stay quiet, and they are fine there. Who says that? As expected of a third-rate sect, even mere brats like them visit brothels. Miss Huyuan asks Hu to let her go. Linghu Jiang says it's not something someone who doesn't pay for drinks and openly assaults a woman should say. Hu becomes enraged, asking what Linghu Jiang said. Linghu Jiang suggests that if Hu wants to teach someone a lesson, he should first buy a drink for him or at least serve him a glass. He mentions that if Hu doesn't want to listen to the music, he should leave. Hu asks what will happen if he doesn't want any of the options and sneers at Linghu Jiang, calling him a son of a whore. Hu prepares to strike Linghu, and the third brother mentions that this kick is the Heavenly Thunder, a remarkable technique of the Great Namgun clan, one of the 5 great clans, and warns Linghu Jiang that it's dangerous to take this blow head-on. As Linghu Jiang is almost hit by the attack, someone appears behind him. Linghu tries to turn and strike the newcomer. The third brother once again attempts to explain that even though the Celestial Thunder Palm is just a basic art, a prerequisite to learning the triple Celestial Thunder Palm, it is reinforced by internal Kai, making it incredibly strong. He mentions that Linghu is too close to dodge at this time and shouts for Linghu Jiang to be careful. Linghu responds that the third brother is being too loud and can leave it to him to handle Hu.